You might have heard of something called low-speed pre-ignition, or LSPI. It's basically a silent killer for modern engines. But don't worry, it is totally preventable. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what it is, and then we'll cover 3 simple but really powerful ways you can stop it dead in its tracks. Okay, let's dive in. So chances are you've got a newer car, right? Probably with one of those smaller turbocharged direct injection engines. You'd think it's the peak of modern engineering and efficiency. But there's a major threat lurking inside that a lot of drivers don't even know exists. And yep, it's called LSPI. And look, we're not talking about some minor little hiccup here. LSPI is a catastrophic failure. It's this crazy abnormal combustion event that can happen at low speeds but under high load. You know, like when you're accelerating to merge onto the highway. The pressure spike is so intense, it can literally blow a hole right through a piston. And when that happens, your engine is toast. Now, I know that sounds absolutely terrifying, but here's the good news. Preventing it isn't just possible, it's actually pretty straightforward. There are 3 key things you can start doing, like today, to protect your engine. So let's jump right into the first one. Okay, your first and honestly your most critical line of defense is the motor oil you choose. It's not just about lubrication anymore. The right oil chemistry is specifically engineered to fight the very conditions that cause LSPI. So how do you know if you've got the right stuff? It's super simple. Grab a bottle of motor oil and just flip it over to the back. You're looking for that little donut symbol from the American Petroleum Institute. If you see API SP inside that circle, you are golden. That SP rating means the oil has been specially formulated, and this is the important part. It has passed a specific test that proves it prevents LSPI. All right, next up, we need to talk about your fuel. See, even with the best oil, you can get these nasty deposits that build up inside your engine. They can create little hot spots that can actually trigger pre-ignition. The solution? You gotta keep things clean with a good fuel additive. But listen, not just any old fuel additive is gonna cut it. The secret ingredient, the one you absolutely have to look for, is polyethylamine, or just PEA. This stuff is a powerhouse detergent. It cleans your fuel injectors and scrubs away all that carbon buildup in the combustion chamber. Why does that matter? Well, clean injectors give you better fuel atomization. So you get a fine mist instead of sloppy droplets, and that is so important because it helps keep raw fuel from mixing with the oil on your cylinder walls, which is one of the main triggers for LSPI. All right, this third fix is by far the easiest one. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it all boils down to a super simple change in your driving habits. It's really all about a little bit of patience. Just let the engine warm up before you put your foot down. Seriously, that's the whole trick. See, LSPI is way more likely to happen when the engine is cold. And the reason for that has a lot to do with something you might have had for breakfast. Think about maple syrup for a second. When you pull it straight out of the fridge, it's super thick, right? It pours really slowly. But what happens when you heat it up? It thins right out and flows like water. Well, guess what? Motor oil behaves in exactly the same way. And this change in thickness, or what engineers call viscosity, is at the very heart of why a cold engine is so vulnerable to LSPI. So here's the chain reaction that happens. When your engine's cold, the oil is thick, just like that cold syrup. Now your piston rings, their job is to scrape excess oil off the cylinder walls, but they only have a certain amount of tension. They really struggle to wipe away that thick, cold oil, so they leave a little layer behind. That leftover oil then mixes with the fuel that's being injected, creating this volatile cocktail that can ignite before the spark plug fires. And boom, that's LSPI. By just letting the oil warm up and thin out, you let the piston rings do their job right. So, following those steps is the absolute best way to prevent damage. But maybe you're watching this because it's already too late for you and your engine has already failed from LSPI. If that's the situation you're in, don't despair. When you're rebuilding that engine, there is one crucial mechanical upgrade you can make sure this never, ever happens again. The single most important thing you can do is to install a higher tension oil ring. What this does is it gives the piston ring more scraping force. That allows it to control that thick, cold oil way more effectively. It's a direct mechanical defense against the root cause of the problem. But, and this is key, the ring by itself isn't a silver bullet. You've got to stack the deck in your favor. That means you combine that mechanical fix, the higher tension ring, with the chemical solutions we talked about. So you're always using that API SP certified oil and you're regularly using a PEA fuel additive. This multi-layer defense is really your best insurance for long-term engine health. So let's just bring it all together here. Protecting your engine from this LSPI nightmare, it doesn't require a mechanic's degree or anything complicated. All it takes is a simple 3-step protection plan. Let's recap that plan. Number 1, always use oil that has that API SP donut on the bottle. Number 2, keep your engine internals clean with a PEA-based fuel system cleaner. And number 3, the easiest one of all, just take it easy on the gas pedal until your engine has had a minute to warm up properly. These 3 simple habits can literally save you from a catastrophic wallet-destroying engine failure. So I guess the only question left to ask is, are you doing everything you can to protect your engine?